Welcome to the video, guys. Salt here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the primary weapon, the Veldt. Now in this weapon series, I take a weapon, I build it out, and I test that weapon on its own merits, meaning I don't mix it with any kind of external factors that would increase weapon performance. That would be things like Warframes using abilities, pets putting statuses on enemies, things like that. I just test the weapon built out by itself, and I let the viewer make their own intelligent conclusions about adding those external things. On this weapon series, we're going through all the weapons in the game, and so some of them are going to be good, and some of them are going to be kind of bad. This one here is probably an average to maybe a below average one, but we'll take a gander at it. So this is the Veldt. It's a sniper rifle-ish, more of like a scout rifle, like a faster sniper rifle. Let's go into it here. Interesting things about the Veldt is that it has a slightly above average crit damage multiplier. And also the zoom mode, there is no positives or negatives, so you can just choose whatever zoom you want. Like most sniper rifles, the further you're zoomed in, the better the bonuses are, but this has no bonuses or negatives, so you could just shoot it however you would like. So let's get into the mods on it. So first we're going to have galvanized chamber for multi-shot. Galvanized scope for crit chance, prime shred for fire rate and punch through. Prime shred is a login reward, so if you do not have prime shred, use the big one. I always forget the name of it. Vile acceleration. So instead of 55, you get 90 fire rate, so you get more fire rate out of this one. You just don't get that punch through, and the punch through is really nice. So if you have prime shred, that would definitely be the option, but if you don't have it, use vile acceleration. That's still pretty damn good. Next here we have Hunter Munitions. This is going to give us forced slash procs 30% of the time on a crit. Critical Delay is going to give us a crit chance buff. Vital Sense is going to be our crit damage. And then for our two slots here, we're going to go with Viral. So we have our 60-60 Cold and our 60-60 Toxin, and they're going to make Viral together. For Whispers content, consider switching to Corrosive. So just take off Rhyme Rounds, put on the electric 60-60, and you'd be good for Whispers content. Viral's not horrible for Whispers. It's just not good either. It just kind of is like a net neutral. So you would want to use Corrosive for maximum effect on Whispers. In the Exila slot, there's a few options here. I'm going to go over all of them for you. So I'm going to be using Vigilante Supplies. The weapon doesn't really need more ammo pickup. Like, it has a good amount of ammo already. But we're using this for the bottom part of it. So 5% chance to enhance a crit. So 1 out of 20 crits are going to be upgraded. So they're going to go from a yellow crit to an orange, or an orange crit to a red. On a slower firing weapon with average multi-shot, this is not very good. And that's exactly what the Veldt is. It's a slower firing average multi-shot weapon. The reason I think it's a possible choice for the Exila slot is because there's not much better. So at least once in a while you get a little bit extra damage out of Vigilante Supplies. Let's go over the other two options though. So the other one would be Stabilizer, negative weapon recoil. We're going to be using Deadhead on this build. Deadhead's going to give us negative weapon recoil, but there's still a little bit of recoil left over. Not a lot, but a little bit. If you want to completely eliminate that recoil, you can use Stabilizer. But because this weapon shoots a little bit slower, I feel like you're not really affected by the recoil too much. Because just by the time you're ready to shoot again, because it shoots a bit slower, like the recoil is already done and over with and you're back on target. So I don't feel like Stabilizer is super needed, and that's why I go with Vigilante Supplies for a little bit more damage, like minuscule more damage, but it's a little bit. And then the other option would be terminal velocity. So the bullets are not hit scan. They do have a little bit of travel time, and terminal velocity would just make them almost hit scan like. So that is a possibility as well. So there's not really anything that's better though in the Exila slot here. So okay, and then for an arcane, we're going to be going for Primary Deadhead. Primary Deadhead is going to give us a 360% flat damage increase. It's going to give us a 30% headshot multiplier, or plus 30% headshot multiplier, and negative 50% weapon recoil. So that is the build for the Veldt. What we're going to do now, because I don't mix this with any kind of external factors, I'm going to be using a big dumb Inaros with no Archon shards that increase weapon performance. No mods or arcanes on the Inaros that increase weapon performance. and with a pet with no sentinel weapon and no mods on the pet that increase weapon performance. And I decided to switch my pet's little his skin today, so now he looks like a little gardener for the video here. If you don't know, you can actually get this skin minus the hands. The hands, I think, are the Kavat arms or something. But you can get this skin from the Zariman, and it's the lady in the back that sells furniture. In one of her menus, like it's on the very bottom. It's a pretty cool skin. Alrighty. So let's get into the Kuva Survival Steel Path, of course. I apologize for the video going up a little bit late today. Pepper has had me out in the fields again this morning. Working me out in the field. So I finally came in. It's 2 p.m. So the zoom mode is just going to be this one here, which is the one I like. I like the zoomed out mode. That way I have more peripheral vision. But if you like the other one, it goes in a little bit like this. But again, there's no positives or negatives, so that you can just choose whatever one you'd like. I'm going to be using my 3 once in a while to give myself status immunity and armor, and that'll be the only thing I'll be pressing. So let us get this started, and we'll see how the Veldt does.
As expected, Grenier have shut down environmental systems, sending modified life support capsules. Use them to sustain your environment or attach the catalysts to begin harvesting.
You see how it actually shoots like pretty fast for a sniper rifle? That's why I don't think it's like a... I kind of call it like a scout rifle, you know, it's like a DMR. It's more like a DMR than it actually is a full-fledged sniper rifle. So you're going to be seeing about 50% yellows and oranges, which is pretty nice. And then if you see a red, that's just from the Vigilante supplies, upgrading one of the oranges to a red. That's going to be pretty rare, though. Again, it's only 1 out of 20 shots, and this is a slower firing, average multi-shot weapon. But once in a while, you'll see a red. I think I just saw a red there in that little group of damage numbers. This is actually my stat stick for Avara. Not that it's actually good as a stat stick for Avara. I was building out an Avara a while ago, and I needed to make a stat stick, and I was like, well, I have the Veldt. I'm just going to make a stat stick out of it. So Avara, the only stat that carries over is fire rate to her bow. A lot of people don't know that she can actually have a stat stick. Every time I tell people in my clan that, they're like, really? Like, yeah, you can have a stat stick on Avara. Has to be a primary weapon. It cannot be a bow, weirdly. I don't know why, and that kind of irked me a little bit, because I was trying to make like my Avara kind of like themed and fashion framed, and I was going to use the Daiku, and I was like, oh, I'll just make the Daiku my my stat stick. But no, it cannot be a bow. It has to be a primary regular weapon. And then the only thing that carries over is fire rate. So you literally want to slap all 4 fire rate mods on. And if you have a Riven with fire rate, just slap that on too. So you have 5 fire rate mods on. And your little Artemis bow is now like machine gun firing. Well, maybe that's a little bit exaggeratory, but it's like fully charging in like, you know, a third of a second. But for like a better stat stick for Avara, you would want a 5 Riven disposition weapon. This is only a 4 Riven disposition. And like I think some of the Incarnans maybe might have fire rate somewhere in their evolutions. Like that could be an option too, but it would have to be like a 5 dispo Incarnan. And I don't know if there's any 5 dispo Incarnans with a plus fire rate somewhere in their thingy. If there is, let me know, and I will switch that right over to my Avara stat stick. but I don't think there is. So I'd probably just end up looking for just like a basic 5 dispo primary weapon that I can just slap a ribbon on. This is actually the second time I've tried to do this video today. I came in from the fields after a bit to take a little break, and I was going to do the video in between. And I was close to being done, and then all of a sudden my my pest control guy came, and I had to answer him. So I didn't want to like have that have that in the video. Some like weird like 10-minute pause. That would be a little bit crappy. So I decided to just scrap that, and I would start again. But in the first video, the Veldt on Kuva Survival only got, I think it was 220 or 240 kills. So it was definitely below average. I'm hoping maybe I can get a little bit more here. We'll see. I had to go to get some life supports, and we've kind of lost the big pack of enemies that were with us. There they are. They're coming. I think they're all in this room here. Nice linear room that we can just shoot down. So we're at 5 minutes now. We'll see. Well, we have 5 more minutes left. We'll see where we can get to. I don't think this is gonna, like, if I got 220 in the first one, even if I play like a lot better, I don't think it's gonna get that much more than 220. I mean, maybe it'll be like in the 300s, but I guess we'll see. I think at the end of the day, this is a below average weapon. It's still fun though. I think this is a fun weapon. It's kind of like the Sybaris. Like for me, I like the way the Sybaris feels. I think it's like fun to shoot. Same thing with the Prisma Grinlock. I love shooting using the Prisma Grinlock, even though it's not an amazing weapon. Sometimes the feel of a weapon just kind of makes you happy instead of just running around with the turret all the time. That gets boring. We're going to have the first Acolyte coming. It's going to be Malice. He's the most dangerous Acolyte. So he's going to put a mag bubble on me. I'm going to have to roll out of it. I just rolled, so I dropped it. I'm going to kind of try to keep trash in between me and Malice so I can keep my procs up. He's going to re-mag bubble me, so I have to be careful that I don't down myself by accident. I'm actually going to run and hit some life supports up top. Kind of wanting the enemies to funnel to me so I can get easy headshots on them. Of course, got my weapon stolen, as is tradition. He's going to put another mag bubble on me at some point. There it is. Get rolled out of it. We got him. We got him, boys. Alright, I do need to run to the life supports, though, or else I'm going to fail just because of the life support. There we go. We got one here. He's going to hit all 3 of them. And then we need to go back to enemies and focus on kills so we can pop these kill numbers up a bit. Of course, I'm on the worst tile set now. So finding the group of enemies is going to be a bit of a pain in the butt. Got 1 more minute, boosting these kill numbers up. Let's see, maybe I can like pull him back to a linear area so I can get multiple kills for each shot. I am like in a corner here. All right, 20 seconds, 20 seconds. Got my weapon stolen. It's not good. That it's a power cell, it's not my weapon. Oh my goodness. That's another power cell. Where is it? That's another power cell. Oh, it's right here. It was right behind me all along. Salt, how do you not know the icon for it after so many years? They look the same. The icons look the same. Okay, 10 minutes. We're at 400 kills. Oh my goodness, that was a lot better than I got last time. That puts it in the average mark instead of below average. Hey, 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 I'll take it. I'll take it. 404, well, 402 when I checked last. 402 kills in 10 minutes. That's a lot better than I got in my first video that I didn't put out. So, yeah, well, I'll take it this time. That's average. We'll see how it does on Lua, though. Lua is a bit tougher. So I'll do Lua Conjunction next. Lua Conjunction is going to be higher level enemies, 180 to 200. They're going to be mixed enemies, so not just all Grineer. And it's going to force me to fight Thraxus, which are kind of like Super Xmisses, big fat Super Xmisses. Let's go to Lua Circulus. They're going to start with 2 Dracmasters with no conditionals, so they're going to be kind of shitty to fight. I wish they just didn't start you with any enemies in the front here. Or if they did, at least put a little bit of trash so you can get some conditionals up before you have to fight these 2 Dracmasters. Because these 2 guys are kind of tanky. Like, for trash enemies, they're like tankier of the trash enemies. And they steal your weapon over and over, which is super annoying. Alright, that's 1 down. Alright, they're down. So I'm going to cast my 3 once in a while. That's just going to give me armor and status immunity. And that's the only button I'll be pressing. So let us get this started here. I've been thinking about putting out a Navarra build too. My Navarra build does not use the explosive augment. And I know that's a popular one that a lot of people use. So I want to spend a few weeks using the explosive augment. And like learn more about it, like through actually using it, before I make my decision on my build that I'm going to put out. Just because I don't want to put a build out on something that is subpar, or give information about something that I don't really know anything about. You know, like, oh, this is better than the explosive build, when I don't really have a lot of experience on the explosive build. She's kind of an annoying Warframe to play, though. That's the only thing. She's a setup Warframe. And setup Warframes like Titania, Avara, a lot of Warframes that kind of lean on their Exalteds, they're setup frames, which means that their Exalteds scale on ability strength. And there's a lot of really weird ways to get ability strength. And so you're doing all these weird things to cap ability strength. And then when all, the stars align, you finally press your Exalted button, and then it's stronger. Because it basically snapshots your ability strength when you press your Exalted weapon, and then it keeps it there the entire time. So, but like it's a lot of weird shit. Like it's like using the gaze kit gun and getting a headshot kill. It's picking up an energy orb. It's using Matter Eye and Void Dashing twice. I think there's like one or two other like stupid things that increase ability strength. And you're doing all of those things, and then you finally go to press whatever button it is. If it's Titania, you're finally going into pixie form after you jump through all those hoops. Or in Avara's case, I think Avara has to set up for multiple abilities. I think she has to set up for her dash wire. I know she has to set up for her Artemis bow, and I don't remember if Prowl has to be set up. So she has at least 2 abilities that you have to set up for, and she might even have 3 if Prowl's the other one. I haven't played her in a while. And the annoying thing though about setup frames, so like once you're set up, you're good to go. Like once you're in Titania Pixie mode, like you're just basically pressing left click for the rest of the game. Like it becomes brain dead at that point. But the setup is annoying. Now the problem is if you run into a nullifier bubble or if violence spawns and cuts your ability off, like it feels really bad because then you have to go through the whole friggin' setup process again. I think my Titania is pretty. I think I'm very happy with my Titania, so that could be a Warframe build that I put out soon. Avara, I need a little bit more testing using the explosive build before I decide on using the explosive build or using the current one I have. The thing is, too, like, I mean, Warframes are going to have multiple builds that are valid, so it's not like one build's just straight up better than everyone. So that's another thing to consider, you know, it's not... I put out the builds that I like in Steel Path Endurance. And I lean towards comfy builds that have more survivability than glass cannon builds that randomly die. I don't like for people to have to pick me up off the ground. I feel like, you know, it makes you look like a doofus. You could be getting all the kills in the world, but if your teammates have to pick you up off the ground every 5 minutes, it kind of eliminates how badass you are. So a lot of my builds focus on survivability over being glass cannons. All right, we're going to have Thoraxis pretty soon, and we're kind of chasing life supports, which is not a good thing. We may fail on this 5-minute mark. I mean, average weapons usually fail. I shouldn't say usually, but they sometimes fail on 5 minutes. Just because, you know, they're fighting to produce the yellow life supports, and they're chasing the white life supports, and usually you get the Acolyte and Thoraxis at the same time. So we haven't even gotten the Acolyte yet. Alright, that's 1. I just wanted to get a quick deadhead stack real quick on that guy. You should die from slash. Alright, we made it past the 5-minute mark, but I don't think we'll be able to stabilize. This life support's just being spawned in, and we're at 9%, so we have to like hit it as soon as it spawns in. So we'll hit this, but I don't think we're going to go past this because it's going to take a while for the next one to come in, and we're only at 30% right now. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with my Titania build. I might put out a Titania Warframe guide pretty soon. Avara just needs a lot more testing. I'm happy with my Avara, but I wonder if I could be happier. Like, I need more experience on that explosive build. I can't remember what the hell that augment is. If you play Avara, you know what I'm talking about. It's like it's an augment that makes the arrow explode instead of like fan out. I play a lot of different Warframes, and so I never remember any of the friggin' ability names. So on Lua, you're kind of expecting to get 100 less kills. I mean, I don't think we're going to be able to compare it, though, because it's not going to be 10 minutes. We're at 13, and this one's spawning in. I'm going to kind of sit right here. Oh, it just spawned in. Okay. Hey, maybe we'll, like, just get to 10 minutes, maybe, by just chasing white life supports and getting lucky. Oh, here, finally, we got a late Acolyte coming at 7 minutes and 50 seconds. The Necros Acolyte, he's not too bad. The other thing that's kind of like crappy about these weaker weapons in the game is that a lot of them are very like skill focused. Like you need to get headshots with this weapon. And even if you're getting headshots and you're playing it to its maximum capacity, it's still like average, you know? But if you're not getting headshots with this, it's even worse than what it could be. So that's kind of like the damned thing. I don't even know if I should move to that life support or just farm kills here. I'm just going to farm kills here, and we'll accept that we'll lose at about 9 minutes. Because I don't even know if that life support's going to spawn in, and we'll see what our 9-minute count is, and we'll try to compare it to our 10-minute Cougar survival. Okay. So 200, well, not 197, about 200. One more minute, I guess you could have expected that we would have gotten like 50 more kills. 50 might be a little generous. So yeah, definitely below average on Lua Conjunction, and it was average on Kuva Survival. So average at best, but probably below average. It's probably a below average weapon. Like if we took those two runs and we just kind of combine them, I would say it's like probably on the high end of below average, or on the very low end of average, like one or the other. What I consider average is like 350 to 450 kills in 10 minutes. So, yeah, that's the Veldt right there. It's a pretty cool weapon. I mean, it's very like steampunk looking. It might make a good fashion frame weapon. So, that's the Veldt. If you guys liked it, consider giving it a like. If you haven't subbed yet, consider subbing or tell me what I can do to earn your sub. And thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys have a good day. All right, bye.